some peace of mind. But TikTok said a gator drove a Jeep through the blinds. Florida man's at it again with fireworks and a goat. And someone married a ghost in a Dollar Tree coat. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is going on? Aliens dancing in a Waffle House song. Karen's got a taser in the checkout line. And Dr. Oz just adopted birds to fight off crime. Oh, I'm just sitting here scrolling my jaw on the floor. The internet's a circus and I can't take no more. Yeah, when it's wildin', there's a raccoon in the sink. Someone robbed a Wendy's just to steal a frosty drink. A pastor's gone viral yelling about the end is near, while folks ride hoverboards in wedding gear. Yeah, what in the Walmart rapture is this mess? Florida's a movie, but it's filmed in VHS. Someone fed meth to a squirrel named Dave, and now he's in a cage just throwing rave. I'm just
Good morning. Happy 2nd of September. I hope everyone's having a better wake up than I did, because being in rural Indiana, apart from, well, having epic Walmart fights, I don't know if my neighbor decided to start out 3 a.m. in the morning with firecrackers or target practice, or I'm now an audio witness to a red rum. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that it was firecrackers, but who does that at 3 a.m.? I don't know. But I wake up at 4 a.m., so 3 a.m. was not kind this morning. We have a bunch of news and some sad news to start off the day. Graham Greene, Dances with Wolves and Green Mile actor, has passed away at 73. Oscar-nominated actor Graham Greene has passed away. The Canadian star passed away on Monday in a Toronto hospital with his wife, Hilary Blackmore, by his side, a representative has confirmed. Now, I do remember him from Dances with Wolves. I don't remember him on with Green Mile, but I think I've only watched the Green Mile once. Greene, known for his role in classic films like Dances with Wolves and The Green Mile, was a man of high moral character who will be missed, his rep added in a statement to the Post, noting that the star was finally free. He did not reveal Greene's cause of death. However, the actor's rep said he lost his battle with a lengthy illness, but did not elaborate. Greene made his on-screen debut in 1979, starring in a Canadian drama series called The Great Detective. His first feature film was 1983's Running Brave, but his big break came years later in the 1990s film Dances with Wolves. Now, I don't know why, but Dances with Wolves will always be the funniest movie to me, mostly because of my personal history with it. It's not a movie that deals with things with hilarity, but I remember distinctly it was the first grown-up movie that I ever watched at the movie theater, because we couldn't get tickets to Land Before Time. So a young, 7 or 8-year-old Mo was so excited to go see Land Before Time in the movie theater, and they ran out of tickets, so we ended up seeing Dances with Wolves. Now, I think I fell asleep during it and didn't understand the significance, but it has always made me hate this movie with a passion. In fact, I might go watch Land Before Time today just because. That being said, not really a happy movie either, Land Before Time. However, that is my personal connection with Dances with Wolves. It actually is a good movie when I did have to see it in high school for advanced American history, but I did not like it as a movie and probably will never willingly watch it again. Greene played Kicking Bird alongside Kevin Costner's Lieutenant Dunbar. The role earned Greene an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor in 1991. The flick garnered Oscar wins and 12 nominations. Costner, who also directed the movie, took home the statue for Best Director, and the film won Best Picture. Now, after Dances with Wolves, he went on to appear in Hollywood hits like Maverick in 1994, Die Hard with a Vengeance, The Green Mile, and Twilight Saga: The New Moon, and Molly's Game. All of those were good except for Twilight. The beloved actor also had a very impressive television career with his TV and credits including Murder, She Wrote, Wolf Lake, Defiance, Reservation Dogs, Echo, Riverdale, 1883, and Tulsa King. Beside his Oscar nomination for Dances with Wolves, he won a Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album for Children for his work on Listen to the Storyteller in 2000. He was later honored with a Gemini Award, a Canadian Screen Award, and nominated for an Independent Spirit Award. In 2021, Green received a star in Canadians, I guess, answer to the Walk of Fame. So I guess there are stars up in Canada. He was born in June 1952 in Ashwakan on Canada's Six Nations Reserve. Though he began his acting career in theater, he eventually made his on-screen debut in 1979 in The Great Detective. He claimed in 2017 that acting was something that he just happened to stumble into. I started out as a carpenter, a welder, a draftsman, a carpet layer, a roadie, and an audio tech, he told Reader's Digest Canada years before his passing. I stumbled into acting and I thought, these people keep me in the shade, give me food and water, and take me over to what I'm supposed to say when I'm supposed to say it. This is the life of a dog, he added at the time. Now, he is survived by his wife of 35 years, as well as his daughter and his grandson. And I do hope that his family is getting all the support and love they need. Again, 35 years of marriage is a goal that I aspire to. So I can't imagine losing my companion of, that many years. So I do hope they're getting all the support and, go watch a good show that you remember him from. And we lost another person, famed heavyweight Joe Bugner, who twice fought Muhammad Ali, has passed away at 75. Joe Bugner, a heavyweight who took boxing greats like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier on in the ring in fights in the 1970s, has passed away. He was 75. Now, the death of Hungarian-born Bugner, who is also a British citizen, was announced Monday by the British Boxing Board of Control, which said he died in his care home in Brisbane, Australia. Now, Bugner struggled to gain affection from Britain after sending national treasure Henry Cooper into retirement with a contentious points win in 1971 to capture the British Commonwealth and European titles. As you all know, I am not a sportsologist, so I don't know exactly who this guy was, but I do know who Muhammad Ali was, and I know he was a really good boxer. So if he was able to best them, I can't imagine. He lost those belts later in the year, but was the Eastern or European champion again by the time he fought Ali for the first time in 1973 in a non-title fight in Las Vegas. Now, Ali won on points, and Frazier did the same 5 months later in a fight at Earl's Court in London. Bugner met Ali for the second time in 1975. On that occasion, a world title fight in Kuala Lumpur, the American again won on points in a bout of over 15 rounds. Now, he had a boxing career that spanned over 32 years, ending in 1999. By that time, he had relocated to Australia, where he spent the final years of his life in a care home after being diagnosed with dementia. Now, he's affectionately known as Aussie Joe in his last few years as a boxer. Bugner was a child refugee when he moved to Britain after his family fled Hungary amid the 1956 Soviet invasion, and won 69 of his 83 fights, 41 inside the distance. I'm sure that makes sense to someone. I'm guessing to win a fight, you'd have to be close to the distance. I mean, I don't know how you hit someone otherwise. Look, I don't understand sportsology, but this man seemed to have a really good career. And so, I hope that again his family is getting all of the help that they need, and his friends and support, and the fans that he leaves behind. I love when I'm trying to vamp about sports and I'm like, I have not one daggone clue what I'm saying. In good news, or at least very good news for those of us following this story, although he is definitely not out of the woods, the wrestler in the Raja Jackson, whatever you want to call it, I call it at least an assault, has, spoken out publicly for the first time since that awful footage came out. The wrestler that has been released from the hospital reveals the extent of his injuries after the assault by son of former UFC champion Rampage Jackson. The wrestler, who was beaten while motionless by Raja Jackson, has been released from the hospital and revealed the extent of the injuries he suffered during the incident. Now, footage from an event last month in Sun Valley, California, posted on social media showed Raja Jackson, a professional MMA fighter, sliding into the ring during another bout and throwing Psycho Stu, whose real name is Stuart Smith, to the mat. The video, which bears a watermark suggesting it was live streamed on the video platform Kick, showed Jackson straddling Smith. We all know what happened. Now, in a joint post on Facebook from Smith and his wife, Contessa Patterson, they said that the wrestler has been released from the hospital and was at home. The post also detailed the severity of his injuries he sustained in what his wife had previously called an unscripted assault. He sustained a serious head injury and was unconscious upon arrival at the ER. His injuries include trauma to both the upper and lower jaws, a laceration to his upper lip, a fracture of the maxilla bone, and a loss of several teeth. It continued, he still has a long road of recovery ahead, but remains in good spirits despite everything he's been through. We are deeply grateful for all the love and support we've received during this time, and thank you to everyone who's contributed in any way, whether through monetary donations, food, flour, or gifts. Your kindness means more than words can express. Now, the Pattersons have organized a fundraising page to help cover Smith's medical costs and loss of income. At the time of writing, the page has raised over $216,000. Now, Rampage and Raja and the LAPD have been somewhat mum about things. There are rumors that wrestlers from the, I guess, school or the organization that put on this event have been cautioned not to talk to police. I am looking for more validation on that case. That is speculation, but I haven't seen an article with, really balanced or clear sources that said that. So that does look, and there is speculation about that. If I see an article about that, I will try to bring it to you guys. But as of right now, those are speculations, so I do want to label those as such. But it does look like they are slow walking whatever is going to happen, if anything happens. In holy fazoli's, thank Jeebus that someone saved this young child, because what the hell happened? Now, I have a youngest most feral, so I'm not parent shaming, but because youngest most feral children will do what they're gonna do. But how did this happen? And my son is never going to Hershey Park. A hero dad describes the moment he rescued a boy who had wandered onto a Hershey Park ride 100 feet in the air. A man who has been hailed as a hero after he rescued a missing child dangerously walking on the monorail tracks at Hershey Park said his dad instincts just kicked in and compelled him to jump into action. John Sampson of Bucks County, Pennsylvania, fearlessly climbed onto the roof of a snack stand and pulled himself onto the tracks when he saw a child walking alone almost 100 feet above the ground on Saturday evening while spectators held their breath. Dad instincts kicked in. And then I was just trying to figure things out and how to get up there as fast as possible, Sampson told Fox 30 or 43. Yeah, no. Good Lord. He picked up the boy and safely brought him down. I felt relief, absolutely, just relief. Even I could feel it in him. The relief as soon as he got into my arms, Samson said. Thank goodness he came straight to my arms. It was nice and simple in that sense. The boy was reported missing by his parents around 5 p.m. after he had entered a secure area for the monorail ride, Hershey Park officials said. Now, he was at the station for about 20 minutes before he began walking along the track, frightening park goers below. Go get him, one terrified park guest yells in a video before Samson helped him down. Now, the monorail had been closed at the time and fenced off by a chain that, circled the entrance. So we're not quite sure what happened. We're grateful for the vigilance of our guests and the swift response of our team. We remain committed to maintaining the highest levels of guest safety throughout Hershey Park. So I am very glad that this gentleman, saw something, didn't wait, didn't pull out his phone to video. And, you want to talk about masculinity and, how it's toxic. This is masculinity. This is protection. And we either need to teach our boys that masculinity can be a shield and a sword, but you need to figure out which of those tools to pick up and at what time. You don't make everything toxic. You show the good parts of what masculinity can be, risking yourself to save someone else, protecting other people. If you don't give boys an example, they have no idea. If you don't give people examples, if you label everything as toxic. But I will get off of my soapbox because apparently I am more spicy today than normal because I got up too daggone early. Although I may hire these people if the jack hat in my neighborhood decides to keep up with these fireworks. I can hire some pirates. They can come down from New York City. We got a lake. Rowdy pirate parties are taking over the waters off New York City's islands, driving locals nuts. It's like fun on steroids. These buccaneers are blasting more than sea shanties. The waters off the Bronx have become an aquatic disco as so-called party pirates have anchored boats and equipments with a massive speaker system near City Island, creating a din that is driving residents crazy. Some locals say that the tubes played by gigantic churro speakers aboard wild watercraft can wake the dead as thongs of scantily clad women, sometimes using stripper poles, and other revelers live it up on board. We started noticing it about 8 years ago, but it was a couple of knuckleheads having fun then. The noise wasn't nuts like it's become, said John Sheridan, a nearly lifelong City Islander. Then COVID came along and people started having fun on steroids on boats. The ruckus often happens nightly in the summertime around Hart Island, the city's public cemetery at the western end of Long Island Sound. The pirate vessels rendezvous within earshot of the City Island residents, tying together their boats to combine party and blast their stereo systems. You hear it early in the evening, but usually it's a passing boat that goes away. But by 10 o'clock, the boats drop anchor and the party just goes on and on. Sunday night phenomenon is very funny because it goes on until, 4 a.m. And you'd think they'd have to go to work on Mondays. The rocking yachts and jet skis have recently led to major problems that go just beyond noise. In June, nearly 24 passengers were injured when a 35-foot party boat caught fire on the Bronx shoreline. The boat's 33-year-old captain was charged with drunk driving, you think? Recreational boat operators are considered under the influence if they register a BAC of zero point zero 0.08 or higher. Now for commercial boaters, that's 0.04. Well, I'm glad we have a commercial level that you're safe to have. Uh, I mean, it looks like fun. It looks like a lot of noisy fun that I know appeals to some people, but does not appeal to me. Although to have my own smoke machine on the water and have my own pirate flag, I may participate. That being said, looking at this photo, that's a no. That's a no. I get nauseous going to IMAX. I don't think I'm gonna go there. So there you go. If you live in New York City, apparently these jackholes or pirates are partying hard. So there you go. I mean, It's not my thing. Now, we've got some final form Jesus, some stories that are going to make you wonder, are we in the end times? And I don't know, you decide, y'all. I don't remember Revelation that well right at this moment, but guessing on these stories, we might could be just close to it.
A key-keeped scroll, thou glowing shrine of thirst traps, scams, and dollar signs. We chant in tones both grim and low, for virtue fled a long time ago. Kyrie eleison, Christe descendat, final form Jesus return in wrath. With six-pack glistening, sword in hand, he cometh swift to cleanse the land.
Well, a cosplaying influencer called Kit Noel was arrested for threatening to blow up, yes, blow up a rival at a Texas anime convention over an energy drink dispute. Now, being somewhat sleep deprived and fully caffeinated, I can understand. I have warned Mr. Mo that if I should ever try to detox from caffeine, his safety might be in question until they come up with a patch. So I say I drink Diet Pop for his safety. That being said, maybe, she is presumed innocent. Did they take her only, energy drink? Because I might have a soul sister here. A popular cosplayer was arrested on Sunday after she allegedly threatened to blow up a rival stall at an anime convention in Texas while they were arguing about a gamer's supplements online. Kendra Noel Manning, a 25-year-old cosplayer better known as Kit Noel online, was charged with making terroristic threats to impair public service, a third-degree felony that could see her exchange her whimsical cosplay outfits for an orange jumpsuit for the next decade if convicted. Well, she's going to have to do a different kind of cosplay. Now, Manning allegedly commented on another influencer's Instagram that she would be planting an explosive in their booth today at the San Japan Anime and Gaming Convention in response to another comment she saw slamming gamer subs, an energy drink marketed almost exclusively to streamers. An attendee at the convention, terrified that Manning was making a legitimate threat, reported her to the event's management, who notified the police. Now, Manning was barred from entering the convention the following day and issued a criminal trespass. Some of Manning's comments and behavior at the convention sparked real safety concerns and left attendees genuinely fearful. The cosplayer admitted to posting the threat before leaving the event and was later arrested. Now, she was released on a $35,000 bond, according to Bexar County Central Magistrate. The popular influencer boasts a staggering 115,000 followers on TikTok and 16,000 on Instagram. Her most popular videos on TikTok feature her dressed up as an X-Men member, Kitty Pryde, Marvel antihero Wanda Maximoff, and other things, I guess. There you go. Now, on Sunday, she was booted from the convention. She was set to appear as Harley Quinn, the Joker's notorious on-again, off-again partner. The day Manning allegedly made the bomb threat, she happened to be dressed as Raven from Teen Titans, a half-demon hybrid capable of leveling entire dimensions. There you go. I mean, nothing says... And that's a Sailor Moon daggone. That's a Sailor Moon phone case. Look, the resident nerds who like Sailor Moon and are kooky but in our own special way and don't make threats, we don't know her or claim her. She is pretty. Boosh, I'm not gonna lie. Like she's attractive. But does that crazy attractiveness level, intersect at the right? I'm not a dude, so I don't know where that threshold meets, but I'm not trying it. She has a lot of moxie too. Well, you would think as a cop you would know not to show up to a crime scene while noticeably intoxicated, but apparently in Ohio, this officer plays by his own rules, or at least he tried to. An Ohio police officer is out of a job after allegedly showing up on a service call with a blood alcohol level more than twice the legal limit. Oh, well, he's then cantoned sober. The pickled policeman was responding to a call from a couple who noticed their truck door was open after returning home from a night on the town and feared an intruder might have been inside their home. Yeah, so the drunk police officer is going to come in. That's a great idea. But when the officer, Michael Irvin, arrived at the scene to investigate, the couple could tell that he was in rough shape. He was noticeably intoxicated. He was staggering and stumbling as he walked up to us. We called back to dispatch to express our concern, they told 13 Action News. Now, additional units arrived at scene and administer Irvin a breathalyzer test, which Walbridge Mayor Edward Colcano told the outlet registered 0.168. So, not, or point oh, look, he was sloshed, so completely drunk. The surreal video captured by a couple showed the uniformed officer unsteadily lurching around the scene, reminiscent of an inebriated patron shambling away from a bar after last call, seeming to have trouble even putting one foot in front of the other. The mayor said that Irvin was immediately relieved of duty and fired just 2 days after the August 23rd incident. We highly value the public's trust and recognize the importance and significance of the situation, the mayor told the outlet. We took swift action once this was recognized, to terminate the employee and open investigation. There is zero tolerance for this behavior, especially in a position where the community expects honesty, competency, and integrity. The mayor said the incident remains under investigations and that charges have yet to be filed, which could ultimately include operating a vehicle while impaired and handling a firearm while intoxicated. He was not wearing his body cam during the call. Damn it, I was going to get the drunk body cam footage for Friday. Why does everyone work against me? Well, speaking of working against him, the universe apparently was working against this man and he would like to sue. I say karma is a bitch and she always collects. But potato, potato. A man accused a pharmacy of invasion of his privacy after his wife discovered his affair. A married man is considering suing a pharmacy after it contacted his wife over a failed e-payment for a contraceptive medicine and ended up revealing his extramarital affair. The scorned man, whose name has not been revealed by the media, visited a Pyongyang branch of a pharmacy in China where he attempted to pay about 15 won or $2 for birth control pills using his mobile app. Now, due to system updates and issues, the transaction didn't go through, but pharmacy staff only noticed after he left the branch, so they tried to text the phone number listed on his membership card. However, the membership card went to his wife, and when she asked about the nature of the purchase, the pharmacy employee confirmed that it was for contraceptive pills. Now, the husband claims that by disclosing this vital piece of information, the pharmacy ruined his marriage and that the marriage of his mistress. Doggone, this pharmacy just sucks, or you guys shouldn't have been cheating. I don't know. Take your pick. Now my wife knows everything and two families are on the brink of disintegration. I want to know, does your pharmacy bear any responsibility? The man wrote angrily on a post on Weibo. Yeah, no, they don't. If you were, dumb enough to use this, then you should have changed your number, but you engaged in the criminal activity of lack of forethought and covering your tracks. If you want to be a sneaky sus person, you have to spend a lot of time covering your tracks. It's not my fault you failed to plan. Now, the Chinese man also shared a receipt for the purchase, a screenshot of the chat history between his wife and the store clerk, and a police report dated August the 12th, issued by the police station. Now, he claims to be preparing to sue the pharmacy for invasion of privacy, but legal experts believe his chances of winning are non-existent. The man's infidelity is the primary cause of the family breakdown, not the pharmacy calling his wife about his mistress's, contraception. I mean, it's a hard lesson to learn. We've all been there, sir. Or don't be a skanky sus person. So there you go. Yeah. Now, interestingly, this wouldn't be the first time someone tried to take a pharmacy to court for ruining their marriage. Back in 2018, a Long Island man accused CVS Pharmacy of telling his wife about his prescription for ED medication, which ruined his marriage. I mean, you would think that if he got it back, it would be a miracle. I don't know, unless it lasted for longer than 4 hours, then you're supposed to go to a doctor. I do remember that from the commercial because, you just got to call if you know, who knows? Somehow it's her fault. And we segue right into some of the grossest people that we've had on Lord Chippy here lately. And every day I say that, and every day it's like the universe provides even higher levels of douchebaggery and grossness. But we go directly in today.
They're our skin, they steal our grace. These monsters wear a human face. No gavel, no badge, no throne, no crown can stop Lord Chippy from burning them down. Justice ain't fast, justice ain't clean. It's a long, sharp road through the in-between. So raise your fists and light your flames. Chippy's coming and he don't play games.
Well, this considerable creepy butthole, a longtime New York City principal, nicknamed Creepy Bill, groped a 17-year-old student and staff and allegedly turned the school into a sexual playground. Again, Lord Chippy might need a little bit of a clean out after this, because ugh. A longtime New York City principal recently arrested for allegedly groping two teachers is facing fresh claims that he turned his public school into a quote sexual playground end quote, groping a teen student and others, according to a new bombshell lawsuit. Now, William Bassel, 66, the principal of Academy of American Studies in Queens since 2011, is accused of harassment when the 17-year-old was a student, as well as three women that were working at the high school in their federal suit. While Bassel has been treating the New York City high school as his personal playground for fulfillment, he has enjoyed robust protections of the Department of Education, states the suit, referring to the city's Department of Education. With the benefits of the Department of Education's deliberate indifference, Bassel, widely known as Creepy Bill or Creepy Bassel, or simply Creep by students and faculty members at the Academy, has for more than a decade targeted female employees and at least one female student, singling them out for illegal touching, texting, and commentary. Now, he has been placed on leave from his longtime role at the Astoria School after he was arrested in May on charges of abuse and forcible touching, but still remains employed as by the city as a principal, the suit claims. His salary was a whopping $240,000 last year. Now, Bassel's litany of harassment acts include groping women's inner thighs and asking about their sex lives, including questions about when they first started that and when they touched themselves, frequent references to ejaculation and oral sex, and brazenly just staring at the women, especially their private areas. The suit also claims that Bassel took depraved interest in the proclivities of his students, commenting on which of them he suspected of doing acts together. The only reason student X comes to school is because student Y sucks their areas, Bassel allegedly told one group of female employees. Now, despite years of complaints from both employees and students to those overseeing the Department of Education, those investigations were either stonewalled or intimidated into silence, the suit claims. Now, the city and DOE did not immediately return a request for comment, and attempts to reach Bassel were unsuccessful. Now, four women filed the suits using their full names in the legal filing and are current members of the Department of Education, including former student Kilabeth Leal. Now, during a class trip to the Metropolitan Opera in February 2015, the suit claims that Basil allegedly touched her and rubbed her. Oh, hell no. My student comes home and says a creepy principal that has been known of for years touched my daughter. I mean, okay, it's not going to end well for you. I would recommend not touching other people's children. She told the teachers about the horrifying incident a year later, and the educators reported it to the Department of Education. But Education investigators allegedly tried to intimidate the girl into being quiet, questioning her about her account with other adults present. He writing you a recommendation letter for college? The investigators allegedly asked, according to the suit. When Basil's May arrest became public, former teachers reached out to Leal and expressed deep regret for not doing more to protect her when she was in high school. Another plaintiff, a social worker, Tara Murphy, claimed that Basil groped her while also repeatedly subjecting her to inappropriate comments and requesting disgusting gossip on students' personal lives, while offering his unsolicited pondering on the subject. Again, this guy is gross. Whatever he is hiding is not worth it. If the Department of Education isn't taking care of it, then let's disband the Department of Education, because they're obviously not fit for purpose. This is ridiculous. And good morning, Lesko. Yeah, this is a pattern of behavior, and this needs to be fully investigated by an outside, unaffiliated entity, because if the Department of Education, grades its own homework, then I don't know, I'm not a teacher, but I'm pretty sure you can fudge the numbers. Just gross. And what the hell did you expect to happen? And what the hell is this? A man trying to run down his ex-girlfriend's mother crashed his SUV into two homes instead. Yeah, I read that right. He was trying to get his ex-girlfriend's mother and ran into two houses. Gravity and Newtonian physics sometimes save the day. A man in Colorado is under arrest after allegedly trying to run down his ex-girlfriend's mother, instead crashing his SUV into her home, as well as into a second unrelated home in what officials are calling a domestic disturbance. Okay, I mean, that's pretty mild, but all right. Now, the man, who has not been publicly identified, was taken into custody following a domestic disturbance incident in Highland Greens, a Westminster Police Department statement said on Sunday. Officers responded around 10:45 a.m. that day to reports of two separate incidents involving a vehicle and private residences. Now, according to investigators, the driver, who has not been publicly identified, was initially looking for his ex-girlfriend's family. Preliminary information indicates that the suspect first rammed his vehicle into the home of his ex-girlfriend's mother before taking off from the scene. He then reportedly crashed into an unrelated residence. Now, afterwards, he returned and allegedly attempted to run over his ex-girlfriend's mother's multiple times before ramming his vehicle into their home again. Send him. Get Daryl Brooks needs a roommate. Daryl Brooks, here is your roommate. Neighbors apparently intervened and were able to detain the man until police arrived and took him into custody. No serious injuries have been reported, the statement noted, though the homes were being assessed for structural damage and the daggone Ford in their, front. This is gross. I don't know the full story, so I'm trying to hold back judgment, but this whole story makes my skin crawl, and I hate covering stories like this, but it's in the news, so here we go. University of Kentucky cheerleader, 21, arrested after the infant she gave birth to was found dead inside a black trash bag in a closet. Now, this one hits close to home because I was 21 when I had my first daughter. Was I smart enough? Was I prepared enough? Oh, hell to the no. But did I change my entire life and my life's purpose became to be an okay-ish mom? Hells yeah. This is this is just heartbreaking because she could have made any number of different choices. We don't know the whole story. I'm trying not to condemn her, but the temptation. A University of Kentucky student and competitive cheerleader was arrested after the body of an infant she gave birth to was found stuffed in a garbage bag and tossed in a closet, according to authorities and reports. Lakin Snelling, 21, was cuffed Sunday after cops were called about an unresponsive infant at a residence near campus. Near in Lexington Police Department said in a statement. Officers found the infant wrapped in a towel inside a black trash bag in a closet, according to police obtained by WLWT. Snelling was confirmed to be the mother of the infant. The child was pronounced at scene. The cheerleader was interviewed by officers and admitted to giving birth, Lex 18 reported. Now, the new mother has been charged with abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and concealing the birth of an infant. Nearly all abortions have been illegal in the state since 2022. Snelling is listed as a member of University of Kentucky's stunt cheerleading team, according to the school's athletic site. She's currently a senior at the university and served on the competitive team for the past 3 seasons. We can confirm that she's been a member of the stunt team for the last 3 seasons. All other questions should be directed to the Lexington Police, a university spokesperson told the outlet. Now, she's currently being held at the Fayette County Detention Center. The cause for the infant's death is pending review by the Fayette County Coroner's Office. University of Kentucky did not respond to a post request for comment. Just horrifying. There are so many couples that struggle with fertility. There are so many people that would have given this baby a home. And I get if you don't want to raise a baby, I get all of that. I don't get this choice. I'll look to see what information is pulled out. I am going to also see if Jedi Jess can pull any of the probable cause or stuff so we can follow this case. Again, I just, of all the detestable stories, this is one of the more detestable stories or tiles that I cover. So we are taking a freaking puppy kitten break, and then we are going to get to some absurd before I just get a little bit too hot under the collar and on a soapbox that no one needs to hear a Mo rant.
When the world feels like a dumpster dive and humans forget how to thrive, take a break, just you and me, with a puppy and kitten, wild and free. Paws and purrs, let's drift away to a land where tails wag and play. No more noise, just gentle muse in our furry four-legged cruise.
Well, it looks like the EU is not only banning free speech, allegedly, but also gel nail polish. But here in the land of US of A and toxic chemicals, you can still get gel nail polish. Beginning September the 1st, the European Union has banned an ingredient commonly found in gel nail polish. The banned substance is TPO. I am not even going to attempt to try to pronounce it. This big conglomeration of letters, and it's supposed to give the nails an ultra glossy sheen and a quick dry time under a UV or LED light. But it has been deemed toxic in the EU after several studies shown that it can lead to fertility issues or adversely affect reproductive health. Now, gel nail polish has gained popularity since the 2000s and is cured under a UV or LED light, causing a hard, durable manicure. And it's more long-lasting. I've heard it's better for your nails. I don't know for sure. I kind of suck out loud at all the girl stuff, so I don't know a whole bunch about nails. Now, not all gel polishes contain TPO, but many do, and the EU, which has long banned certain chemicals still legal in the US, including BHA and BHT, as well as yoga mat bread ingredients, no idea, has ruled the health risks too high, labeling TPO carcinogenic, mutagenic, or toxic to reproduction. Now, some experts argue that the ban is precautionary rather than preventative, as evidence linking TPO to poor health outcomes is primarily based on animal studies. The European Union is banning out of caution since, even though we don't yet have large scale human studies proving harm, potential risks were enough to warrant stricter regulation, said Dr. Hannah Kopelman, a dermatologist at Derm on Demand. From a medical perspective, I view it more as a precautionary move rather than a response to strong human evidence. Now, TPO is also used as a photo indicator in dental or initiator in dental fillings, but the European ban applies only to cosmetic ingredient. Wait, so it's in fillings that go in our mouth, but you are bitching about the possible side effects of nail polish? EU, explain yourself. I'm a redhead on the internet and I know that math doesn't math, all right? For the love of all that is Cheetos. Well, we have it in fillings, but your nail polish is toxic. I give up. I give up. Let the asteroid of sweet relief come on out. Come on, because they're taking away nail polish, but keeping it in fillings. Baker, I have a new thing that you must attempt. Baker needs a new obsession, and I say we get him more Crocs than this guy. A man in Connecticut has collected more than 3,800 pairs of Crocs. Well, considering I'm kind of proud of him. A Connecticut man known as the Croc King earned a Guinness World Record when his collection of Crocs was tallied at 3,568 nine pairs, and he said that number is already out of date. Doogie Sandtiger is his name. Are you kidding? His name is Doogie Sandtiger. This is the best name ever. This is the best news. Doogie Sandtiger is now the most awesome name I've ever heard in my entire life. Okay, so Doogie Sandtiger said his fondness for the footwear began at 16 due to his childhood in foster care, leaving him without the knowledge of how to tie his shoes. Part of the foster care system people don't realize is there are a lot of things that kids don't get taught or miss along the way, Sandtiger told local television. Sandtiger said he made a list of goals in his journal when he was a teenager, and that's how he started collecting. I called it my goals list, and for whatever reason, I put 366 pairs of Crocs. That was the original goal. He started to seek a Guinness World Record for his collection in 2023 when it had surpassed 2,000 pairs. He was finally awarded the title for the largest collection of Crocs when his collection tallied at 3,569 pairs, but the number has continued to grow since that count was performed in November 2024. He said that this month he's reached 3,800. The footwear aficionado hopes he can eventually show off his collection by opening a Crocseum, so a museum with all of his Crocs, which I would actually go to, but I have a weird bucket list of places I would go. So who knows? I mean, it could happen. We actually saw this on Experts, and I was wondering how all of this turned out. Three children kidnapped, taken on a wild chase after their mom left the car running outside a 7-Eleven. So hopefully they are okay. Three young boys were kidnapped by a carjacker in California and taken on a wild car chase that ended in a life-threatening crash in Malibu after their mom left her car running at the 7-Eleven parking lot. Now the mom, Teresa Tax, left her three sons, all under the age of 10, outside the store in East Los Angeles on Friday afternoon when a crazed Crazed carjacker jumped behind the wheel and hit the gas. You blink and you see a stranger in the car with your kids, Tax recalled. The kids are crying, desperate for their mom. They're afraid, and you just see someone run away with them. Now, the boy's panicked father, who was parked next to their vehicle, tried to stop the suspect from taking off, but was dragged behind the car, suffering chest injuries. The suspect led law enforcement on a high-speed car chase before smashing into another car, seriously injuring all three boys in the Ricci seaside enclave of Malibu. Now, the carjacker, who hasn't been identified, bolted on foot through a wooded area and was ultimately taken into custody by the California Highway Patrol. Texas' 7-year-old son suffered a dislocated hip from the crash. His 9-year-old brother had a minor concussion, and her 2-year-old was left with a bruised stomach, according to ABC7. Now, all three boys have been released from UCLA's Children's Hospital as of Sunday. So I am glad to hear that, they are all okay, because it did look like a significantly scary thing and live when, the little guy, one of the little guys was kind of flopping around as a mom or even as a human. I don't like to just corner things into you have to be a mom, but as a human, it was terrifying to see that little guy just flop and kind of look very unresponsive. So I am very glad that they are doing okay. Those are the stories I have for you today. It ended a little bit quicker today. I must not have pulled as many stories as I thought. Uh, so you guys all have to give me a break, but I will give you a bit of a teaser of what is coming up today. If you are not into the Adelson case, if you are not wanting to hang out there, I will be covering the press conference going over the true story behind Walking Tall, the Buford Pusher case, starting at 10:30. So I'll be reading some articles that kind of give you a little bit of a backstory about that, and then we'll be watching the hearing and all the information that this investigation has pulled out. So that will be interesting. I'm going to start doing some of these maybe more random cases and some of these hearings. That being said, we are hoping that that works out, and I will be watching the new, there's a couple new documentaries. So there's the Idaho documentary, and then the new Ruby Franke Joda Hildebrandt case. So that will be really, really interesting. And then tomorrow we will be back to the Christopher Wolfenbarger case and going through that. Hopefully, get that done this week. And then if you guys would like me to cover the Donna Adelson case, I can do that, or we can look at another trial or something else if you guys would like to. But let's get this done, because I want to stop taking notes on this incredibly redonkulous case. I filled half a notebook. It's insane. I hope to see you guys all at 10:30. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you guys for sharing your mornings with me. My goal this month, motivational goal, is to do musings every morning. So musings are just short little videos of me rambling on about whatever catches my fancy at about 4:30 a.m. when I'm pulling stories for you guys. So, I documented my wake-up call by my hillbilly neighbors this morning and other different things. I pull crazy stories and try to figure out where they're going to go in mornings. So that's kind of what that is. But my goal is to have those up every morning for you guys. So things are getting better, even if progress is slow. Bye, you guys. I hope you have a great day. Remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire, because kindness does not equal doormat. Bye, you guys.